Hey guys, JCV here. I would like to discuss with you on my experience with Onirism. The game starts off with Kao sleeping in her bedroom until suddenly an unknown entity appears from a different dimension and takes her stuffed toy Bun Bun away from her and goes back into the portal. Kao catches wind of this due to needing this toy to sleep and chases after the culprit inside the portal and enters into a new world called Korea as her adventure begins trying to chase after the thief. Next comes the gameplay as we take control of Kao and are equipped with a hairdryer and umbrella for any enemies that stands in our way. These items provide shooting and melee elements that range in a combination of different attacks on display. Whereas with shooting, we have a primary fire and sometimes a secondary fire, which can change up the properties of each weapon we are able to collect along the way, to be used in the best scenarios. Gadgets are also a featured layer to collect, which has different properties and cooldowns when used. There are other mechanics Kao can use, such as being able to dodge incoming shots or jumping from one platform to another. Running can also be used with gaining extra speed, while the cost of stamina is involved. Sneaking can be used to not be detected, and sliding complements the extra speed when being able to use it. These basic premises has extensions to them when committing to these actions, as you can perform a belly flop while jumping or a drop kick with enough speed and airtime. This kit makes it so fun to experiment on what we can do with the amount of options we have. It doesn't end there, as there are elixirs found in vending machines which can give her a buff for a certain period of time. These are very useful when we enter into horde sections, as we have to deal with a lot of enemies in a single area, and depending on our playstyle, we can use these to get the victory. Further upgrades are given to us through story progression once we have defeated a boss. These upgrades give her permanent abilities that can be used to explore previous places we have visited before which was in need of that, or can be useful in the next section ahead. The boss fights are amazing due to how they try to make each one distinct from each other due to the different sizes and ways in terms of defeating it. Health and ammo is provided for support around the area, but having good reaction of dodging their attacks and positioning is key when taking them out. From these got me introduced to one of my favorite villains, being Daisy, as how much resilience she has from getting a bounty out of Kao until the very end. Even though Kao is out for vengeance, the real beauty is the adventure that we get to explore alongside her, as we are provided with gorgeous visuals as the story goes along to paint a narrative of how massive this world truly is. This is cleverly handled by having vehicles in some of the areas to make exploring the terrains easier, along with saving ammunition and health while we take out the enemies. Along with that, these areas will have special themes demonstrated. We will need to be aware of the upcoming danger and use the environment correctly to travel through. While this is happening, exploration can be used to sidetrack onto other things such as collecting ammo, health, stamina, and battery upgrades. This helps out tremendously towards larger scale fights without needing to grab ammo around the area and explore further without needing to tire ourselves out. However, I will advise it will take even more hours out of our time to find each of these, as they are hidden so well that it's easy to miss out due to the brilliant level design. In addition, we can collect pearls by defeating enemies and grabbing loot and chests along the way. These are used to buy new weapons, gadgets, costumes, and accessories from Rag Shop or Tough Corner Shop. These range from hundreds of options to choose from, as these rewards are very satisfying, which depends on how many pearls we can obtain. Another exploration route we can go into is collecting Dreamstones. These stones is said to be giving us extra secrets, which I'm not entirely sure what these are connected to. However, we can mainly collect them through these hidden portals that takes us to a different world. These places have objectives that may involve several different genres that we will need to use to complete it. I was impressed with the ideas it had, as we get to play a car racing game along with duking out in tank battles to show the variety that Kao can be placed in anything that is thrown at her. During our adventure, we will be noticing so many different video game references by the different scenarios we get to see. This would happen a lot, as I would catch on from seeing this somewhere before. It's a nice touch to show the appreciation of such beloved games that we have experienced at some point in the past, and the team's inspiration when developing the game. During the story, we get to check out cutscenes, and they are done extremely well to showcase Kao's personality along with the people she encounters throughout her adventure. We get to see her explosive nature of using violence to solve her problems, but given that she is only 10 years old, we also get to see her kid-like behavior from her personal observations and displaying other emotions when left vulnerable to the ones she enjoys talking with. That can be said for the other characters he encounters, as they each have a trait or two inside them that adds extra depth of world building onto our adventure, as the Captain and Maurice being my favorite for the best comedic duo that they put in. With all these praises said so far, this game falls back down to reality as it is filled with tons of bugs and glitches. At times it is fine with the janky stuff that happens when interacting with the environment, which can be rectified very easily. However, there are game-breaking bugs that could ruin the entirety of our playthrough. One example I can describe with this is entering the Crimson World before the story is intended for it, since I was able to discover it and was exposed to one of the bosses there that we didn't have a certain upgrade to defeat it faster, and since I was defeated by it only once, I was caught in an infinite loop state of dying in a random world. Given that this game is based on having one save file per playthrough, this could have easily destroyed my entire playthrough from around 30 hours of playtime, which lucky enough from restarting the game, the backup save was there to take me out of it. The other issues I had would be the long loading times, which could lead me to a few crashes, slowdown in frame rate, and even had bosses skipped entirely as I wasn't able to experience the fight against Minaka. The solution I had to use to avoid most of these problems would be lowering down the quality to the bare minimum, as this helped me to complete the rest of the game. Overall, Onirism is an incredible game that brings in so many different elements and ideas from a whole range of different games and places it into an adventure masterpiece. However, for it to be the best game of all time, it needs to fix the bugs and glitches first to at least become a contender for that role. If any of you guys have any experiences with this game, feel free to share in the comments, and I hope you have a wonderful day.